So today we're going to be start programming our game in Unity. We're going to be writing our first script in C#, so that's going to be a lot of fun and an important lesson today. So let's get right into it. So whenever we want to make an object do something, we create what is called a script, and then we attach the script to a game object, and then the script does something to the game object. In this case, we want to make this circle rotate over time, so we can create a script by hitting on add component and then go down, and you can see here no new script, and then give a name to the script. We can just call it rotator. The script will rotate the circle, so let's call it rotator, and then choose language. In this tutorial series we're going to be using C#, but you can use JavaScript. I prefer C# because it's just better. So we can hit create an add, and then it will create the script and attach the script to the rotator, and the script also appear in the project panel. It means we can then attach the script to another game object as well, but we don't want it to do that. We just want the circle to rotate, so it's good this way. And then if we double click on this rotator script here, it will open up in MonoDevelop. It might take a few seconds to open up, so be patient, of course. So when you open up a script, and if you have no idea about C#, there are a lot of scary stuff going on here. But as a beginner, we're going to be ignoring most of this, and we're just going to be ignoring in these two functions. So void here means it's a function, and then we have here void start and void update. Let's see what's written here. So here you can see it's written use this for initialization. It means void start will occur only once the game will start. And in the update, you can see here it's written update is called once per frame. It means whatever inside these two curly brackets here will be executed once per frame. If you still don't understand this, it's completely fine. For now, just right after me. So let's just if this void start actually works. So inside this void start, we're gonna write debug debug.log. Now what debug.log is, it writes a message to the console. And what is a console? So you can see here, this is the console. You'll understand this in just a moment. So after writing debug.log, we're gonna open and close two brackets, and inside of these two brackets we're gonna put two quotation marks, and inside of these two quotation marks we're gonna write a message. So in this case, let's write hi there, this is my first message, and then end the line with a semicolon. This semicolon is very important. You're gonna do this a lot. So now you can save the script by pressing Ctrl+S, and if you now minimize it and go back to Unity and hit play, nothing will happen in game, but in the console you can see here it says hi there, this is my first message. So that's pretty cool. Now what will happen if we use it in the update method? So let's just cut this from here and just paste it in the update method, and then save the script by pressing Ctrl+S, go back to Unity, and then I'm just gonna clear this console here. And then if we now hit play here, you'll see your console flooding with these messages, because you can see here update is called once per frame. It means this command here is called the once every frame of the game. So enough of this messaging, let's just do something with this rotator. So what we want to do is we want to access this transform component of this rotator, and we want to access this rotation. So we want this circle to rotate over time. So we are not going to be using this start function here, so let's just delete this over here. So we're just going to use update. So we need the transform component of this object. So let's just write transform with a small t. The capital T is used for another thing which I'll explain later on. Then we're going to press a dot here, and then you can access a lot of stuff inside of this transform. So what we want to do is we want to rotate. So let's just try to type rotate, and here you can see MonoDevelop suggests what you should be writing. So let's just go here and type rotate, and then we're gonna open and close two brackets and end the line with a semicolon. Now we have to specify in which way we're going to be rotating. In this case, we're going to be rotating over the Z so that it rotates kind of like this. So we don't want to rotate on the X, so we're going to write 0 and then F. What an F is, it's basically a float number. If we now, let me just show you. You can see here MonoDevelop asks for a float X angle, float Y angle, and a float Z angle. Whenever we want to specify it's a float number, float means it's basically a decimal number. So when we write 0f, Unity knows that it is a float number. If you write only 0, then it will be an integer number and it will show an error. So we need we do comma here, and then we want to give some kind of speed on the Z angle. So let's just write 20f, maybe 20 will be good speed, and then if you save the scene, amazing stuff will happen. So are you ready for it? We are going to hit play, and you will feel that nothing is actually happening, but it is happening. If you go to the scene view here, you can see it's rotating crazy. Oh my god, I think it's way too fast here. So you can see it's actually rotating, but as it's a circle, we cannot actually feel that it's rotating. But there's a few problem here. If we want to access the speed here, we need to, every time we want to change the speed, we need to go back to our script, and then we need to edit this value. This is pretty annoying. So we're gonna use something what is called a variable. Now variables are very important. I like to think of variables as containers. We give that container a name, and then we can store a lot of type of data in that container. It can be an integer, which is a whole number, it can be a float, which is a decimal number, and a lot of stuff. In this case, we're gonna be storing a float. So we're just gonna write after me right now. We're gonna write public. Oh my god, I can't type today. Public, and then float. Same mistake again. Oh my god. And then we give this variable a name, and in this case we're gonna write speed, and then we're going to set it to like 20 that we did before, and in place of 20 here, we're just gonna write speed. So that's amazing. And now if we save the scene, go back to Unity, in this rotator script you can see speed appears. But why does it appear here? Well, here is the reason. We set this variable to public, and that's why we can access it from the inspector. If we set it to like private and then save the scene, go back to Unity, you will no longer see the speed. So that's why we're gonna write public here so that we can access it from the inspector. I'm gonna save the scene and go back to Unity. Now as we saw, the 20 speed is way too much, so we're gonna try 10 here, and we're gonna hit play. Let's go back to scene view, and this still feels a lot, so I think I'm just gonna write 5 here and then hit play, and this seems like a pretty perfect speed. So there we go, you made your first script in Unity. Do not hesitate to just try out stuff, like you can go in and try transform here, and then you can also access the position, so you can change its position over time. So don't hesitate to do this. Accessing some of this stuff might like break your game, but just all you gotta do is just delete that part and just keep this part over here. So that's all we're gonna do for today's video. Programming is a complicated thing, so you need to take one at a time, so we can do the rest of the programming in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button down below and comment down below if you are having any kind of problems. I will try my best to help you out. And if you're new, consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future episodes. And always remember to save your scene before closing Unity. So we're gonna save the scene. I almost forgot that. So we're gonna hit save scenes. I will save the scene. So I will catch you in the next video.